What's the good word, Shiny Arks, and welcome to episode 2 of Kirana's Fashion Passion. This week's cosplay was requested by my best very good friend, Momo-chan, and he chose Maka Albarn, the main protagonist in the anime Soul Eater. With introductions out of the way, let's get to the look that gets the touch.
And here we have Maka Albarn's final look. Let's start with her iris pattern. As seen in the last video, I did not have a lot of iris pattern options, so when it came to Maka's very matte, plain, non-pupil eye pattern, I ended up having to go shopping. This two-tone eye cost me about 1.5 mil Meseta, so it was relatively inexpensive. I chose this iris pattern for both left and right eye, as Maka's irises are both the same in the anime. To achieve Maka's matte green eye color, we rested our cursor right about here on our color palette. Because the anime eye is already two-toned, it makes that lime green a dark, rich green on top that moves into that beautiful lime green towards the bottom. We used this same positioning for the right and left eye color to achieve this matte green look. The eyebrows I chose was from your base eyebrows available to you, so you don't have to go purchase this on any personal shops if you don't already have it. Base eyebrows N gave her that innocent anime lolly type look, as Maka is very young, she's very plain, the actual opposite of most protagonist females. We matched her eyebrow color with the hair color that we achieved here and brought the density to about halfway. The eyelashes we chose were the double anime lashes B in black. These were available from Fun Scratchers, so if you do not have them, they are relatively cheap in the personal shops. But this gave her that wide-eyed young anime girl look. Being that Maka wears no makeup, she has very thin lips that don't show any shape, we decided to just go with her sinister look and use Bloody Makeup C, which was available from Fun Scratchers during Halloween. Again, this is relatively cheap and available on personal shops. Unfortunately, Bloody Makeup C comes in red. There is no bloody makeup in black because if you know the anime, people are infected and go crazy from black blood. But to give her that more sinister battle warrior Maka feel, I decided to splatter some bloody makeup on her face. We could have used Bloody Makeup A, but I just thought it was a little too much and overdressed, so I decided to just go with C. The second makeup pattern that I chose was just to lighten her cheeks a little bit for different environments. If I were to step out of the salon into the shopping plaza and had no color to my cheeks, my character would look very outlined. There would be a white highlighted outline, so I used Face Paint 20, which is a base face paint, to kind of give her face a little bit of color when I stepped outside of the salon environment. Hairstyle was actually very easy. I used Rough Pigtails GV, which is basically Kuna's hairstyle, episode 4 and above. We could have used Kuna's episode 1 to 3 hairstyle, and if that's the one that you have, you can use it. But do you see how it parts in the middle? In Maka's picture here, you can see that her part is non-existent. We have the bangs going through the middle. So I chose to use the Rough Pigtails GV instead of Kuna's original pigtail look that you were able to get from mission passes. But that's not to say that you can't use it. This is a good alternative pigtail that you could use to achieve Maka's look. The hair color was actually a little bit more difficult than you would think. Maka has very dirty blonde hair, which is not achieved on the color palette without messing with a color's saturation. So for the top part of her hair, our color palette is about here. And just to show you what this looks like before I reduce the color saturation, we're going to move the saturation back up. Notice that this is a very orange ginger type color. So don't think that you're doing it wrong if you end up with this color and about here on the color palette. This is where you need to reduce your color saturation to achieve that dirty blonde look. You can go lower because even lower is a more dull and brighter blonde. But I went to about here to achieve that dirty blonde look. That ginger really washes out at this point. The same was for color 2. Now, Maka has a very plain hair color, but natural hair color goes from a darker to a lighter, from the roots to the tips or tips to roots. So to give it that little bit of depth and natural lighting feel, we ended on the color palette right here. This color naturally without desaturation looks, again, very orangey, very red yellowish. So to reduce that orange and yellow, we reduce the saturation to give it a more natural sandy blonde look. And that is how we achieved Maka's hair color. Moving on to body paint. I double layered socks and gloves female white. In all of Maka's battles, because of the perfectionist inside of her, you will always notice her gloves are never dingy, never dirty, never torn. They're simply a pristine white. So I wanted to accentuate that white glove look in her body paint. Now, if you notice, the outerwear trench coat does not have sleeves, and Maka's schoolgirl uniform does have the sleeves. If you want to fully cover her forearms, there is a glove you can use, but the gloves are going to be red, which is not necessarily bad. It matches her skirt and it gives that full body coverage that Maka has. These gloves are Stella Heresy Glove B. They're about 2 mil Masetta on personal shops at this point in time, but the quantity of them is going down, so the prices will go up. Nab this now. So we did not use an outfit to achieve this look. We instead used layers, which I assume that we will be doing for most of our cosplays. Now, the innerwear is not gonna matter. Choose whatever underwear suits your fancy. It does not disrupt the look in any way, shape, or form. But the base wear I used was Maria's Clothes base because it gives us that white collared schoolgirl shirt and the red schoolgirl pleated skirt. The boots reach to about mid-calf, whereas Maka's reach to her ankle, but they have that bulky, clunky look that Maka's shoes also have. So the boots weren't generally a misfire. It actually worked really well with her overall look. Finally, the outerwear. The outerwear I did have to go and purchase because I wanted a long black trench coat. Most of the coats I had only reached to about mid-thigh. The trench coat that I came across was about 1.5 mil Masetta on personal shops, so it wasn't very expensive, especially for a black colored coat. The coat I chose was Freud Gallows F, and can still be found on personal shops. It's available, so if you don't have it, I recommend you go get it for any of your trench coat looks. And finally, moving on to accessories. I have chose a total of 2 accessories to finalize Maka's look because she is very plain. She doesn't wear makeup, she doesn't have jewelry, she doesn't have a lot of flamboyancy to her outfit. We didn't have to really work with a whole lot of accessories here. Now, because we went for the crazy sinister Maka look, generally when people go crazy or are very evil in animes, they accentuate fang teeth or sharp teeth to enhance that sinister type feel. So we stuck with the big canine teeth that you can only see once again when you're smiling, which kind of defeats the purpose. But that's what we landed on. And as far as accessory number 2, we just added a little bit of flair with these beautiful gold earrings that you were able to obtain in the Fresh Find shop. This doesn't mean that you'll never be able to get these earrings. The Fresh Finds generally recycles things that they have released before. So keep an eye out in the Fresh Finds and try to get these beautiful Seizacious earrings. So this completes my Maka Albarn cosplay. If you liked or have a cosplay you would like me to do, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Like, follow, and subscribe for more of Kirana's fashion passion. Remember to always be kind, be accepting, but most of all, be yourself. And without further ado, let's wrap this baby up with a good old-fashioned photo shoot.